So peppermint is such an awakening oil. It's great for the mind, the digestion, the sinuses. I always travel with it and drive the kids mad the minute I get on the flights. The peppermint oil comes out, so I'm sure the whole plane benefits from my peppermint oil. So just take a few deep breaths, inhaling all the way into your belly. Taking that slow exhale out. And again, that lovely long inhale in. And slow release out. And let's take one more big abdominal breath. And then when you're ready, just start to apply that oil to the back of the neck, tummy, wherever you feel drawn to. And then release the palms down to the knees, palms facing up, closing the eyes again. So we're just going to do a few rounds of Ujjayi Pranayama. So Ujjayi is a very calming breath. It's one you can do anywhere and no one would know what you're doing. So we're going to start to be aware of the breath coming in through both nostrils. Just the awareness of the breath at the nose. Just seeing if you can let that breath come in even deeper. If it helps, take that count to 4 or 5 as you inhale. And the same count as you exhale. And from here, I'd like you to start to imagine that you have an imaginary hole in the front of your throat, and you're now going to start to direct your breath there. This is the Ujjayi Pranayama. So you're inhaling through that hole in the throat, so you're just slightly constricting the throat, the mouth stays closed. And you exhale the same way. So you should be able to slightly hear your breath. Just completely slowing down. Really being aware of this moment, not letting your thoughts travel into your day, not being in the past, not being in the future, just being completely present. This is the moment that we have right now, right here. Letting go of the awareness of the breath at the throat, just being aware of the breath now through the nose. Just drop your chin down to your chest. And we're going to take that slow roll of the head and the neck. And the shoulders just feel heavy. Make sure your spine is long. Keep that movement slow. Reversing your circle when you're ready. Coming back to center. Take an inhale with the arms, bring the arms up, stretch up. Bring your hands onto your shoulders, draw your elbows in and draw big circles with your shoulders and your arms. Healing the shoulders back. Pull them back for a moment and then reverse your circle. Drawing the elbows in, squeeze them towards each other, and then open and squeeze in. Open, peel the shoulders back and squeeze them in. One more, peel back and squeeze in. Bring your hands onto your knees or just in front of you and just start to circle through your hips. So just moving whatever way feels good. Releasing that lower back. Maybe moving the shoulders and the arms a little. Moving from one glute to the other. And then rolling. Mia's definitely joining in there, Darren. Moving around a little more, couple more circles. And release. So coming into your table position when you're ready. We're going to continue those circles. So you might just want to step your hands forward slightly. And we're going to start to circle through the body. So again, just that slow movement, sending your hips down towards your mat and then back towards your heels. Continuing with that lovely long breath. And just bringing the awareness of gratitude to the start of your practice. Always good to start our day with gratitude. There's always something to be grateful for. Let's reverse our circle. And one more circle here. Coming back up. If you have your bolster, just grab it. It can also be a pillow or a couple of blocks just to the top of your mat. And then we're going to reach our hands to our bolster or blocks. Push it away so we have length in the arms. We're from that table position. And then just start to sit back towards your heels and drop your head down. Now you're not going to get all the way back to your heels, but the idea is you have that length in your arms and you get that stretch into your shoulders. Obviously, if it doesn't feel okay, come to your regular child's pose. Just breathing into any tightness, any tension you may be feeling here. When you're ready, just move your hands away from your bolster, bring your hands down to your mat in your table, tuck your toes and head into your down dog. Again, take that movement. Maybe it feels nice to bend the knees and lengthen. Maybe it feels nice to go side to side. What does the body need today? Just letting your body guide you. I would encourage you to sometimes do that. Take 5 minutes on your mat and just see what your body wants to do. Send your gaze forward and we're going to step forward with the right foot. Now I'm going to turn so you can see me. You need your block. So have your block to your right hand. So you're in your low lunge basically. You can bring your hands to your hips for a moment in that low lunge. Then have your block, right hand. Drop your hand down to your block. Inhale, take a long arm, left side, over towards your right. So you get that stretch down your left hip, left waist. Release that side, change hands with your block, drop your block down to your left arm, and then do the same, right arm long. You should be able to go a little deeper this side. Bending into that left elbow. Release. From here, bring your hands inside edge of your right foot. You can always bring them to your block as well if you need to. And just start to delve a little deeper into that twist. Into that deep lunge. Might be your elbows come down onto your block or your mat. Just exploring a little further into that glute area, the hamstring. And then coming back up, frame your right foot again, take that step back in your down dog, take that movement, whatever you need. Maybe it's a hold, maybe it's a pedal of the legs. And then gaze towards the hands, bring your left foot forward, drop your right knee down, you're back in that low lunge. We're grabbing our block, left hand. We're inhaling up with our right and we're taking that side stretch over towards our block. Lifting out of the waist. Releasing that arm, just changing hands with your block. Block in the right hand, drop it down, and then take that stretch the opposite way. Coming back up, bring your block to inside edge of your feet or maybe just your hands. Come into that deeper squat or deeper lunge. Maybe come down onto the elbows. Relax that back foot. Holding here. Coming back up, framing your left foot, step back to your down dog. Take that walk, whatever you need, that hold. And then take that walk towards the top of your mat. Your bolster should still be in that area. Just let your body hang, head towards that bolster. A little bit of distance in the feet. Inhale, take a long spine here. Bring your left hand onto your bolster and open with your right arm. Take that twist. So the legs are straight, if you can. And then drop your right hand to your bolster, left arm goes long. Coming back down, and then just push your bolster away so it's not on your mat, and roll the spine slowly, slowly back up. We're going to bring our feet together, top of the mat. Take out inhale in, reach up with the arms, and that exhale, that fold down. Take a long spine here, gazing forwards. And let's step back, right and left leg into our plank. Drop your knees here, sit back into your child's pose. And we're going to take that wave-like movement where we drop our hips down, we bend into our elbows, we roll into our cobra, and we sit back into our heels. And we're going to do that a few times. You're coming forward, slow, controlled movement, elbows tight to the body. Roll into cobra. Exhale back to the heels. Lovely long stretch. One more here. Control down to your mat. Inhale up. And exhale back. Holding that child's pose for a moment, sitting back further to your heels. And then finding your down dog, push back. Take a step forward with your right foot. We're going to come into a high lunge now. So you bring up the arms and bend into your right knee. We're going to bring both hands down to our mat again, inside edge of that right foot. They can be on a block. Left hand is going to stay down, and we're going to twist and open with our right arm. If you need to drop your back knee, then you do so. Holding here. Looking down at the left hand, dropping your right inside edge of that right foot. Let's open left arm. Push back into the heel on that left side. Twisting through the body. Both hands back down to your mat. Drop your left knee down. Relax the toes of the left foot. And just move forward and back. So you're framing your foot with your hands. You're shifting forward and back. Stretching through that knee, that calf muscle. Checking that breath is long. And this time maybe sitting all the way back to your left heel, sending that right leg long. You can stay high if you need to. And you just start to walk maybe a little deeper into that right side. Doesn't matter where you're at, you can feel that stretch down the back of the leg. Maybe noticing points of tension that you didn't know were there. Just let your practice ease them away. And then rolling forwards again, just framing your right foot. Take a step into your down dog. You decide if you hold or you move. Take that inhale in, maybe that sigh out, just let go. Bringing the gaze forward, stepping forward with that left foot, ready for the high lunge, the other side. Bring the arms up, bend into that left knee. And then drop those hands inside edge of your left foot. We're going to keep the right hand down, take that twist, left arm long. Push back into that right heel. Very good. Let the hands come back together, down on the mat or the block, and then open with your right arm. Drop that right hand down, drop your back knee now, frame your left foot, and take that movement forward and back. As you come forward, just visualize pushing that right hip down towards your mat, so you really feel that stretch in that right hip. Take a pause between each moves. And last one here. Sitting back towards that right heel. You can always prop with your block under your left glute. And then maybe that slow walk down towards the left side. Rolling forwards, frame your left foot, step back into down dog. Push back. This time keeping the hands where they are, just head into up dog, so you send your hips down, you're going to stay on your toes. And then as you exhale, back into that down dog. If this feels too much, you can take that knee version where you drop your knees, rolling through your cobra. So coming back to that up dog, the gaze slightly up as well. And that exhale back, releasing your lower back. Do that one more time, dropping down, hips to the ground. And exhale, take it back. Send your knees as wide as your mat, bring your big toes together, sit back into your child's pose, forehead down. Feeling open those shoulder blades, the arms are long. And back to the sensation of your breath. It's a really nice asana to repeat the mantra, I love you. Something we should be telling ourselves. It can often be quite a challenge when we first start that affirmation, I love you. Try and get into that practice. Resting in child's pose a little longer. It's an affirmation I use when I wake up in the morning. I love you. And say your name if you can. When you're ready, just come back up. Come into your table. We're going to drop down onto our elbows, either palms together or you can link your fingers. And we're going to step back into our plank pose. So just starting to engage our core a little more. Keeping the gaze down towards the hands. Holding, breathing. From here, just take a little shift forward and back on your toes. So you roll onto your toes and you push back into your heels. Keep the tummy away from the mat, keep pulling it up so you don't lose that engagement of your back and core. We're going to do 3 more. 2 more. And last one. Push back into the heels and then let the belly come down to the mat. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Slide the elbows under the shoulders and we come into Sphinx pose. So just adjust so your elbows are in line with your shoulders. You can have some distance in your feet. Gaze is forward. And we're just going to slowly turn our head to our right shoulder. It's a small movement, but you should really feel that through your back. Come back to center slowly. And then start to turn your head to your left side. Pulling the shoulders away, neck is long. Slowly back to center. Come all the way down to your mat, chin down. We're going to send the left arm long, so the palm is down on our floor or mat. Right hand is that lever. We're going to push onto our left hip and left ear. Maybe stacking the feet, maybe taking the right leg further back. And that lovely twist through the spine and hip stretch. Maybe closing the eyes and just keeping that connection with the breath. Sending it to any areas that are tight, allowing them to release. Rolling slowly back onto your tummy. Bring that left arm in. Let's take that right arm out, palm facing down. Left hand brings you onto your right hip, right ear. And you decide if you take that top leg further back to get that deep stretch. You take it back, make sure it's touching the ground. Very slowly take that roll back. Bring your hands back under your shoulders, push yourself up and back into your child's pose. This time maybe knees together and send your arms alongside your legs. Inhale, roll back up. We're going to send our arms behind our back, maybe holding onto our elbows, or maybe bringing your hands into that prayer position behind your back. We take an inhale, and as you exhale, you roll back into your child's pose. You can always bring your head to a block. Getting that stretch in the shoulders, the chest. Very slowly roll back up. Release your arms, just bring the back of the hands together and take that roll through your wrists. And just rolling through that wrist joint and then reversing that circle. Bring your hands back down onto your mat, back into that table position. We're going to tuck our toes and hover our knees. So lift your knees away from your mat. Gauge that core. We're going to sit back towards our heels so our arms go long, and then we come forward back to the knees. Exhale, push back to the heels so your knees are not going to touch your mat, and then come forwards. We're going to do that one more time. Push back like you're sitting back to your heels. Feeling that in the thighs, come forwards. This time we sit back, we straighten the legs, we come into our down dog, we hold, we move, whatever our body needs. We send our gaze forward, we step forward with the left foot. Have your block towards the top of your mat. We're going to plant our back foot down and come into warrior one. So you bring up your arms, gazing forwards. So you should feel that in your right glute. That back foot is down. We're going to bring our hands behind us, link our fingers again, pull the arms down our back and fold into a humble warrior. Bringing the arms up, so squeezing the shoulder blades. Doesn't matter if you don't come too low. You're feeling that weight more in that front leg. So these are our weight-bearing exercises, making our muscles stronger, strengthening our bones. We roll slowly back up. And this time we're going to open into warrior two. So just a slight turn of those hips. Bend back into that front leg. Our gaze this time is on our left hand. Maybe delving a little deeper into that left knee. From here, we're going to come into half moon. So you might want to just turn your block so it's on its highest point. We're going to shuffle forward with our right foot. I need to come back a bit, I'm too far. Shuffle forward a bit with your right foot and just bring your hand to your block and then take that leg long. Right hand goes up as well. Now this is optional. You can bring your hand onto something more secure. You can just play around with shuffling forwards and back. We bend the knee to come out. We come back into our warrior. We turn and frame our left foot. We step back into our plank. We lower down to our mat. Our block might be in the way. And we roll into cobra. Sit back into your child's pose. Find your long breath. And when you're ready, back down dog position. Push back. We're going to step forward, right foot this time. Left foot is on the mat. We've got warrior one, bringing up the arms, squeezing that left glute. Holding here. We start to open into our warrior two. We turn our hips, we bend into our right leg. Arms along. We grab our block towards the top of our mat. And we might just play around with this pose. We can always bring our hands onto our hips and just practice lifting that leg up, maybe dropping it down, lifting up, just coming into that movement of that half moon pose. And if you're coming into the full pose, seem to keep going too far on my mat, bring your hand onto your block. You can keep your gaze down. If you feel like you're wobbling, keep your gaze down on your mat as you send that arm up. That really helps with your balance. One side might be more wobbly, this side is more wobbly for me. We come out bending that right knee, coming back into our warrior two. We're going to frame that right foot, step back into our plank, last vinyasa, lower down to your mat, roll into your cobra, come back to your child's pose, last time, sitting back to those heels. Come into down dog, push back, squeeze your right leg back, three-legged dog. Again, feel that engagement in the right glute. Start to bend into your knee, so you're turning your knee out to the right and you turn your gaze towards your right shoulder or underarm, just twisting a little in your three-legged dog. That weight is in the arms. As you turn your hips back to your mat, we're going to draw that right knee in. Hold it towards our chest, engaging the core, and then drop that knee down to your mat for pigeon pose. So shuffle that left leg back. We're going to stay up for a moment, Maybe kicking back and holding our foot. It's optional. We can be here. We can be one-handed. So we're here. We then release and we take that walk down our mat. And you can use, it's quite nice to use your bolster as well. Bringing the chin down, resting the arms on your bolster. A nice supported position. Or you come all the way down to your mat. So your right heel is towards your left hip. So make sure you feel comfortable. And let's rest here. When ready, slowly come up, frame your right knee, step back, down dog. This is our last one, push back. We've got that left side to do. So we're going to take that left leg long in our three-legged dog. Squeeze that left glute. Plant the hands down, fingers wide, squeeze your inner arms so you open into your shoulders. And then bend that left knee, so you're turning your knee out to the left side and you're turning your gaze towards your left shoulder. Twisting in that three-legged dog. Start to turn the hips back to the mat, draw that knee into the chest. Hold. And then drop that left knee down to your mat. Send your right leg long. Come up onto the fingertips, maybe just rest here, pull those shoulders back. You have that option of kicking back, holding the leg, either both arms or one arm. And then we're going to take that walk down to let go of that leg if you're holding it. Take that walk down your mat, maybe using your bolster again. Making sure you can just let that upper body go, especially the head and the neck. We're going to take that roll back up, move that support, just come onto that glute, and we are going to be lying down. You will need your strap, so have your strap to hand and have your block as well close by. So lying down on your back, we're going to send the whole body long. Draw the legs together, take the arms long, take a full body stretch, maybe a yawn, stimulating the vagus nerve, moving the jaw. And as you exhale, draw that right knee in, squeeze it in. So from here, we're either taking hold of our strap around our right foot, or we're holding our right big toe with our hand. It's going to depend how long your legs are. Mine are short, so I can hold my toe. Pushing your heel up to the ceiling. Left hand is on your left hip. So your right leg needs to be straight. So do use that strap. Kicking into your strap or your hands, you're pushing your heel up to the ceiling. And then holding your strap or your foot, start to take your right foot out to the side. You want to keep your hips in line, so don't let that left glute come off of your mat. If it feels too much with that leg long, you can always bend your knee. Bring that leg back in, let go of your big toe, arms alongside you, and just slowly, slowly lower that leg back down, using the core. The legs come back together. Take that inhale, long legs, long arms again, maybe that yawn, that sigh, that stretch. And on your next exhale, draw that left knee in, squeeze it in. Pushing that lower back into your mat. Grabbing hold of your strap or your big toe with your left hand. Going to push that foot up to the ceiling. Right hand on the right hip, keep you balanced. Pushing that heel away on that left leg. Feeling that lovely long stretch. And then with your right hand on your right hip, just start to take that left leg out to the side as far as you can. So you get that lovely length in the inner leg. Bring that leg back in. Release the strap or your toe, arms alongside you, and then slowly, slowly lower that left leg back down. Draw both knees in to your chest, give yourself that squeeze, that hug. And then plant the feet down on your mat. Hip width apart, grab your block, bring your block between your knees, squeezing your block, arms alongside you. We're going to roll up away from our mat, keeping that squeeze into our block and hold. Once you're there, keep squeezing and engaging the inner thighs. Feeling that up into the glutes as well, and hold. Make sure you're not clenching the fingers, let the arms be soft. No clenching the jaw. Last squeeze at the top here. And then as you exhale, take that slow, slow roll back down. Removing your block, sending both heels up to the ceiling, arms alongside you. If you have any lower back problems, you can always bring your hands just under the top of your glutes, especially if you have that arch in your back. We're going to exhale and slowly lower both heels down towards our mat, but we're not going to touch our mat. Holding, hovering. Inhale, bring the legs back up. Any pain, you bring your knees in and out. We're going to do that again. Take that exhale, slowly lower the legs back down. Controlled movement. Hold, hover the heels above your mat. Inhale, back up. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Take hold of the outer edge of the feet in Happy Baby. Draw your knees towards your shoulders. Middle spine is pushing into your mat. Moving what way feels better for you. And then drop both feet back down to your mat, knees bent, a little bit of distance in the feet. Send your arms away from your body or cactus your arms, palms facing up. Let your knees fall over to the right side, all of the way. Maybe picking up that right heel, outer edge, left knee in your spinal twist. Close your eyes. Release that foot, come back to center, and then take that twist the opposite way. Again, that option of making it deeper with that left heel on the right knee. And coming back to center and taking rest in Shavasana. What does feel quite nice, if you have a bolster, we've done this in our yin practice on Monday night, is it feels quite nice to have your bolster on top of you. Try it. If you don't like it, you can just shift it away, but it's a nice sense of grounding. As you rest now in Shavasana. Closing the eyes, just letting the body feel heavy. Taking that important rest. Just taking this moment to absorb how you feel at the end of your practice. How good it felt, maybe just to slow down. When we slow down, we recharge our body. And when you feel ready, just starting to bring some movement back. Whatever way feels good. Maybe taking that stretch again or drawing the knees in. And slowly allowing your body to roll to one side. And you can come back up. Let's finish our practice with one Om mantra. Inhale and begin. Bring your hands to your heart. Thank yourself for your practice.